Got the Highbanker set up. Let's check this thing out. So, screen's working beautifully. Just look at how, like, there's a few bubbles coming down here, but if you watch how slowly they move down the sluice, it's like, it's got a ton of recovery time. I can notch this down here just to show you guys a little. Just get that down to a trickle here. So nothing visible up in here, like it's all going deep through that 1/2 inch moss, rough top conveyor belt. We'll show you the cleanup at the end. Everything seems to be working nicely with the screen. And then we get down in here, like actually fingertip there's already a piece of gold. I don't know. It's just running so smoothly. Like I just have it trickling down right now, but the double level is beautiful. Like I've never seen so few rocks like in such fine mesh. Like this is just working beautifully. And basically taking this whole bank here, it's just dirty gravel, and we're sort of pulling the very top off. So if you come in this direction, basically looks the exact same. So this is undug stuff here, that's dug stuff there. And then what I've done is I've pre-dug a section over here, so when we're ready to move the Highbanker, we're going to be able to basically set it in here. I'm going to try setting it out towards the river this time, so that we can shovel from the sides, like, you know, one person shoveling on that side, one person shoveling on this side. And then I'm just sort of going to build up the little rocks down here to collect all that silt, because you're not supposed to directly discharge right back into the river, and it's a pretty narrow gravel bar, so just sort of doing something like this. But just off the top of my head, when this thing's blasting pretty hard, if you get the right rock sitting right here, then it starts sort of spraying everywhere. But I think that's sort of worth it when you see a shovel go into this thing. It's quite phenomenal how it just chews it up. So I'll see if I can get a shot of this thing eating through a shovel right away here. And yeah, I've done a few tailings tests. One like where, you know, steady state feeding, see what's in the shovel. It's looking good. Another one where you just let it sit there and run empty like it is right now, but you know, with full water flow. You get a ton of black sand that collects out compared to a normal thing if you let it run for 5 minutes. But within that black sand, I found like 12 little colors, and like tiny ones. And we're putting about 200 colors in per shovel. So it's just running beautifully. I think I've never had the expanded over Miners and Moss box running as cleanly as this. Like it's just dialed right in. But I also think the hopper recovery is going to be pretty helpful. So by the end of this video, I'm going to be able to see what is in the hopper, what is in there, and then what is in my weird little contraption down here, sort of see how much gold is coming out of each place. But we've been digging for almost 4 hours now, ran through quite a bit of ground, but using this bucket to distribute instead of just trying to shovel it all away, it just makes it so easy to flatten everything out at the end. Like you just sort of scrape all these rocks back in, and this is going to look completely undug by the time we're finished. That's Chris. You've seen him in some hiking videos. He's just learning to pan here, and he's picking it up pretty quick. So I'm gonna get back to shoveling, and we're looking like we're actually gonna have a decent take of gold at the end of this. Oh, the old one-hand attempt here. See if I can get this. So just luck of the draw, those two rocks kind of got hung up there. Try that again. All right. Sometimes if you get a big rock right in the middle, that thing will spray off of it. But I think it's worth it to just get cleared out with the shovel. Let's try another one, see if I can show you that happening. So there's a pretty big rock. And it's just luck of the draw whether it starts spraying water around, but let's find out here. There we go. So it's not sliding out, but it's the angle it hits actually pretty okay. and everything's just clearing the screen real nice. I do have this little snow brush, so if you get any organics on the screen, it's real easy to just wipe them off, but we haven't been having that issue. Right now, I've determined that I wanted this to be a little bit steeper than I had it set up, and the screen I would like to be a little bit less steep. So that's why I've only used rivets to connect the hopper to the screen. So I'd like this to be slightly steeper and this to be slightly less steep relative to each other. But the way it's set up right now, like it's just, oh, I just love, look how nice that's running. So good. So thanks to the pump dictating that it was time to shut down, as the pump starts sort of surging, going out of gas, we were able to just sort of gently turn it down here, because no mat's designed to handle that on, off, on, off, on, off. And we look up here, and this is basically just to hold on to a bunch of stuff. It's like a surge preventer. So it'll be interesting to see what's under that. And then our screen here, we're just gonna slide this up out of the way. This has a little bit of material on it, but it seems to be doing a good job of directing everything back to there. And just, let's see if we can get this to show up on camera. Do you see that from back there, Chris? Have a look in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm liking it.
Yeah, and that's like just what's seeping out of that. So when we pull this out, I'll try to pull it out nice and easy. Actually, if you just hold this camera over there, this little thing, I'll dial this up. It's because there's a lot of sand in there. It's a little tight. Just slide this out. We're gonna want to hold on to that, but let me just slide that down. I want to try to get this cleanup separately. It's actually designed to come out the back, so you don't have to pull the screen out of the way. But I mean, just look what's just down here. Unreal. But yeah, let's not risk losing this. Let's get a tub. We'll put this in, and we'll sort of see what's in here, and what's in there. And actually, no, we have to dig at least a couple hours first. Let's just clean this out for like see what's going on. Okay. Okay. So we'll just clean this.
Sweet.
It certainly does hide the gold. That's not from the back of the mat. That's just because it was tipped onto itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious, like, how worth it is having, like there's 10 grams of gold and this catches 2 of them. Then it's another 2 grams that can't lose.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice, like, the backed moss is, I thought it'd be a pain to clean, but, like, that's kind of empty.
Yeah.
It's pretty thin moss too, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can get the 1/2 inch thick or 3/4 inch thick. This is just thin stuff. Probably here you might do better to have the thicker stuff, but the main box I like the thin stuff because. All right, so that's good. We'll just set this aside for now. Okay, empty pan. Got to be careful with this because there's. Oh, you can just see the gold coating the bottom of this tub.
Nice.
You see? Look at that.
Yep.
See if it actually shows up in this light, but that's kind of cool, like, considering there's a whole rest of a sluice. I'm just gonna really gently pour this water down a bit. Like, that's such a small little piece of mat. Watch, I'm just like accidentally pouring it all onto the ground. Alright. Here's how much actual material is in that. It's slipping down into the river over there. It's alright, you may be drowning, but hey, look at the that's unreal.
It's just gold.
I don't think this is a actual pan it out situation.
No.
You're gonna lose all of your gold if you try to, but I'm just going to see if I can get just a touch of the blondes off the top and back pan this a little bit. All the aluminum filings from working the sluice. Piece of gold right there. Yeah, I can't pan this out. That would just be.
Yeah, I just give it a swirl.
Yeah. Just gonna pull the blondes off the surface real careful. We'll swirl it back. Alright, so a whole bunch should be at the top edge. Let's wash it all back here. There's your black sands loaded with gold. There's just way too much in this pan to actually see what's going on. But there, look at that.
There we go.
Look at that. There's like a lot of gold in that pan.
I'm liking it.
I think we should find more.
I think so.
Like, just is this a gram? I don't think it's a gram, but like everything in the pan, if you were to pan this out really carefully,
Yeah.
like there's easily this much again back here,
Yeah.
and that could be, I don't know, it could be a 1/4 gram. Wow. There, it's all floating on the surface.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get a proper tub for this.
Sweet.
But yeah, like throughout this trip, we'll have to keep an eye on like how much gets caught there and how worth it is having that. Because from what I was seeing coming out the tailings, we're not really losing a lot of gold here. Like, you're always losing something when you're on good gold. We're digging about, I don't know, anywhere between 200 and... So there were some 300 color shovels we were digging. But like prospecting pans, when you just dig a small amount, like 150, 200 in a pan.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's not clean out because there's more shoveling to be done.
Yep.
There you go, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I have a cameraman. This is so cool. There's your gold at the end of the rainbow. Ah, the serenity. It's got a 50-foot line here attached to this line, just to keep the pump a little further away for the convenience and power of a gas pump. Makes for a pretty quiet job site over here.
I see gold.
You see gold, eh?
I see gold.
Ooh. Put this focus enhancer on and get in there.
Yeah. Quite a few.
Here's another hot spot. Actually, up here there's probably...
There's about, like, whatever, a few that you can see.
Well, I can't see up here, but I'll put the camera way up here and see if it can spot anything. A little empty right where it dropped.
One in there.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, mosquito. Now let's have a look at the bottom, because after a good run, you'd often see a little color at the bottom. So there's one piece right there. But like overall, this thing's running. Another...
Like, it seems to drag out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Out the bottom.
I mean, tailings were looking good, but we haven't done like a proper, you know, proper analysis or anything. But yeah, I guess we'll see what's in down in under here again.
Yeah.
Let's have a peek at the front, because last time we could see gold up here. A little bit of a build-up on that. Well, it was a shorter run, but where is that piece I thought I was looking at? There.
Yeah.
So there's some gold in there. Yeah, weird, hey? Alright, I guess, yeah, we'll start with the hopper and then clean that out and then clean that out. We'll sort of have a peek along the way. Under the plate here, this all looks kind of empty here, and then because the sprayer would be hitting here and then up and sort of chewing that apart. When you come down here, little bits of gold in here, and it's more full of black sand. But I'm quite curious what happens. It's really actually full down there. You can see where it's empty from the sprayer. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm curious as we wash this out. Because there's definitely, like, if there's that much sand in here.
Yeah.
There's a piece of gold right there.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's what it looks like under the moss. So what I just did is, when I took this mat out, the very bottom edge the bottom 2 inches here. I put it in the pan and I wanted to see how much gold there was. And there wasn't this much. There was like very little. There was some, but there was like very, very little. This is the top probably 3 inches of this mat. So, not too bad. And then the other thing to consider is, remember this is a double level box, right? So there's 2 levels that have this just in the top 3 inches. I'm always pretty bad at telling how much this is, but I mean, that could be a 1/4 gram just right there. So 1/2 gram in the top 3 inches of you know, both levels combined. And then obviously, you know, it's going to be pretty rich for the top little bit. Oh, I'm tired, so we're going to clean this out, dump her in a bucket, and I don't know, set up tents. That anchored up real nice over there. Made a few little steps cut in, so even paved the bottom step. This whole edge is basically just slumping, so if the high water was like, it'd be pretty much where I'm standing right now is water. This whole edge is just going to get washed away. The river really does move material a lot. You hardly make a dent when you consider what the river does. But yeah, Chris has his tent here and drying out the old feet there, and I've got my tent there. The zipper on this tent's a little bit broken. There's a few parts where the fly's supposed to have something to clip into a pole, and it's just all coming apart. I keep threatening to buy a new tent, but the amount of money I have right now, I'm thinking maybe just see if I can nurse this one through the season. But got myself a lounging chair, a couple of sips of some water, and as my little bonus treat is the beaver's just out there smacking his tail around. It's just beautiful and peaceful out. But I'm gonna carve up this grapefruit here and have a little snack before bed. It's 10 o'clock. Dug for 5 hours today. I have no idea how much gold we got, but it certainly looks good. So in the hopes of maybe making this video not carry on forever, this will be the end of day 1, and yeah, next week we'll sort of, you know, carry on the adventure. Till then, cheers, and thank you for watching.